Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. My name is Doug. In our last video, we had mounted the slide on the Z-axis, and we mounted the slide on the Y-axis. Today we're going to go ahead and mount the ball screw on the X-axis, and I'm going to show you what I've done in the meantime, which is basically put the machine on the stand and wired some of the, wired some of the tubing for the one-shot lube system. So let me get you a little closer look at that. We'll go over what we've done in the meantime, and then we'll get to mounting the X-axis. Alright, what I've done, since once the slide is going to be on the table here, is I've gone ahead and put my 5mm 0.8 pitch 90-degree elbows, push to connect facing back, because I don't think I'll be able to get to those easily once the table is permanently mounted. And I did the same thing for the other side of the apron. So I've got two ports coming in this way. I've got a port coming in for the back of the X-axis, and I'll have a port when this is finished coming into the gib the other direction. This is mounted with two bolts that were provided by Arizona Video 99. These are his ball screw and attach mounts. And what I've done is tried to align this as best as I could. And by doing that, I'm going to put a dowel into the dovetail there. And I took a adjustable parallel and basically kind of came up bridging the ball screw and coming up and touching the dowel, and then measuring the distance. It's about 1 inch 609, and I slide over the other side. Do the same thing, and that's about 1.587, so about 25 thousandths off. What I'm going to do is just kind of loosen up on one of these and just see if I can't tap this so that I can get equidistance on both sides of the ball screw. That way when this thing runs full length, I'm not going to have any kind of a binding issue between the dovetails and the axis of the ball screw. So let me go ahead and fine-tune this, and we'll get to mounting the table. Alright, I've got this dialed in to within about the best as I could get. It was about 5 thousandths difference between here and the other side, and it's time to put the table on. I've already gone ahead and kind of dry fit this, so to speak, and has fit the gib in. I fit the gib in because of the fact that you need to drill the hole just like we did on the other two gib. Blued the front of this, slid it in, went through with our 16th rod, scribed a mark, and then went ahead and hit it with the went ahead and drilled it, and got an 1/8 of an inch hole in there. So we are going to go ahead and now put some whey oil on everything, and I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of tubing and get a push to connect tube going from the inside of the ball nut. I'll give that about a 4-foot section, and then we'll put the table on, and that should be good. So let me go ahead and get that. Alright, you can see the tube for the one-shot oiler system has been hooked up to the elbow on the push to connect that's attached to the apron, and that is coming out of the bottom center of the screen there. What I'm doing now is putting the two mounting screws on the ears of the NEMA 23 mount. It's a standard NEMA 23 bolting configuration with 4 bolts on the very end. You can see the Lovejoy connector has already been put onto the end of the ball screw. What I've tried to do after a lot of fumbling around with the screws here was once the two screws, so the mounting screws, have been put through the ears and into the end of the table, I bolted the ClearPath servo onto the end of that aluminum motor mount and attached it to the Lovejoy connector, and then loosened up on the two outside bolts that I'm fastening in now. And the reason why I did that was I didn't want to bias the lead screw any. After taking the time to getting it to run parallel with the ways, you just kind of let it float in space, find its own center, and then I clamped down on it. It seemed to be the most realistic way of putting this thing on here without, like I said, biasing the lead screw at all. I should also point out that the lead screw is fastened to the other end of the table with the Belleville washers, and that has been taken up so that you don't have any slop in that bearing arrangement there. We had talked about in the previous videos about getting the Belleville washers placed in that bearing stack correctly, so that we take the slop out of the angular contact bearings and get those fastened in there. That I don't unfortunately have any video of, but you can go off of what I said before when we attached the y-axis together. So thanks for watching.